There we go.
You were going into the screen, weren't you?
We're live.
At the
We're
very time.
live.
Oh goodness, we gotta fix the crooked pictures.
Yeah.
August the 20th, 4 o'clock here in Alabama. How are y'all doing?
How are y'all doing today?
Jason forgot about the live until 7 minutes ago.
Oh, I was just editing, so my mind was
Well, you forgot, and it's
elsewhere.
okay.
My mind was elsewhere.
Uh,
I was almost finished with the video.
so you didn't finish. Messed you up, didn't we?
Yeah, I was in a zone.
In the zone.
I was in a zone.
Well, we always have to make arrangements for the dogs, and I was asking him, did he want to just leave Holly inside? Because sometimes we put her outside, but when it's hot, we like to leave her in. So she's in, she's downstairs. Dee Dee's beside me. Arlo, Gidget, and Dixie are out in the backyard. Everybody's straight.
Everybody's straight.
Everybody's straight but us.
Yep.
We crooked.
Definitely crooked.
We are crooked today.
Oh, me. Oh, goodness.
So, what's going on?
What is going on?
Well, it's a little warm, but we are supposedly in a cool snap.
That's what they say.
To me, the cool snap lasts, like you said on the last live, till about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then it starts getting hot again.
Mm-hmm.
But the wind is blowing just a little bit.
And the humidity's way down.
The humidity's down. I've even seen a few leaves fall from the trees here lately. So
probably starving from rain, lack of rain.
Well, I'm gonna look at it like fall is near. I'm gonna try to be the glass half full instead of half empty.
Yeah.
So yeah, some leaves have started to fall, and oh goodness, I'm hoping it's near. I really am hoping it's near.
I hope it's near too, but I'm not going to
count your chickens before they hatch. Go
definitely
ahead and say
not going to do that at all.
No.
79 in Knoxville today.
Oh my goodness! Now that's a cool front.
That's a cool front.
That's a cool front. It
we might put our jacket on at 79 degrees.
I'm telling you what, our temperature when we went to town was showing 88. Yeah. But when the sun's shining, it's still hot. Mm-hmm. But we're doing better. We're doing better.
Doing better. Oh my gracious.
So I've gotten a few emails and comments asking if we're okay from the storm. There was a storm that came through day before yesterday.
Oh, yes.
And we were under an elevated risk of potential weather. But the weather did not come through here. It came through Selma, which is it came through other parts.
That's right.
In this little highlighted area, it came through Selma. And if y'all follow Ryan the Roaster, he made a little reel because another tornado or tornadoes came through the city of Selma and the county of Dallas County. Mm-hmm. Nobody was killed, and we're thankful for that.
Yes.
But there was some damage that was done, and of course, a lot of power outages, a lot of things that can be fixed.
Yeah.
Things that can be fixed. But I tell you what, as long as I ever lived in Selma, I do not think there was ever a tornado that touched down inside a city that I knew of.
When we were little, there was one close to Turner Chevrolet, but I can't remember what year that was. We were youngins.
But now it seems like, it's happened, 3 times?
Yeah.
And since January
of
23?
Yeah.
Is that right?
22.
22?
23. It's 2 years.
It's happened too often. And, we've said this, and of course, we're no weather people. But y'all, it seems like these things choose a path, and they continuously pick the same spots.
Feels that way sometimes.
It feels that way because there's a house, down the road that during that Selma tornado that affected your granddaddy, a tornado came through right down the road from where we were living in the camper at the time and destroyed a house completely. Mm. Well, how long ago has it been? 3 months ago? A tornado came within a quarter of a mile from where that house was destroyed and totally destroyed a barn.
It's crazy.
No loss of life. That's
Thank
all
goodness.
we can be thankful for.
Thank goodness. Somebody said it was 1983 and it hit West Side.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But we were.
Well, I was fixing to say I was only 7 then, so I wasn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to Mary Carl about things she did when she was 7, and it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
So we don't remember that, and you were 8.
I was 8.
I don't remember it. But
8 years old. Michael's okay. I mean, Michael. I saw Michael. Somebody else was Ryan. Okay, Ryan's okay.
Everybody was okay as far as
Mhm.
we know. It's just a lot of trees
Yep.
down, a lot of mess to clean up, and
That's Michael's sister that said it was in 1983 at West Side.
oh, is that right?
Yes.
Well, how about that?
That's why I saw Michael pop.
I was trying to think of her name, and it just came to me.
You see
Melina
it?
Key.
That's it.
Yes. She doesn't know me. Well, she does know me, I guess. I was thinking to say she doesn't know me, but I remember her because growing up in our neighborhood, her cousins lived down the street from me. So, when you play with somebody's cousins, you know the whole family.
That's right.
So I knew her before she knew me by name. Anyway, enough of that. And that school was hit again.
Yeah, Selma University was, which is
it's right next door.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Westside had like structural damage, but Selma University, the whole roof was blown off. And it was crazy because it would be like in one part of the northern part of the county, then in the middle of the city, then in the southern part of the county. So they were separate storms.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I appreciate those who checked on us. We were fine. It didn't really even do anything.
We didn't even get any rain.
No, it didn't do anything. You could see lightning off in the distance.
I didn't get nothing off of
that. Was probably coming from Selma at the time.
Probably so. We had, we had. Well, I take that back. We had a good bit of rain
the day before.
We got an inch.
Yes.
And we needed it.
Yes.
Bad.
So I think all the power's been restored there now, but my gracious, they were without for a good little minute.
Yeah.
Especially as hot as it is. I know it heats up fast, and just thankful to all those power crews. Oh my gracious, y'all. I tell you.
I tell you, hats off to those men and women that do that for a living.
Catherine's son is one of those. Her husband's one of those. And y'all, I mean, they are some hardworking people.
Yeah.
Working on little rest and a lot of go-go juice.
And it could be at 2:30 in the morning.
Or it could be from 2:30 in the afternoon till 2:30 the next day.
That's right.
Which happens, when there's a storm. Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
So just thankful there.
And honestly, Selma hasn't recovered from the big outbreak.
No, because every time we go, if we go to an area that we haven't been to in a while, you see evidence that big storm came through there, and it just wasn't that way before. So, immediately they learned from that bad tornado, because immediately you saw on Facebook and different outlets, Red Cross was offering tarps. If your house was damaged, you can come here for a shelter. It was just like they learned, and you hate to have to learn from something like that, but it was immediate, relief available for those that needed it. Terrible.
So I want to say this before I forget, because I'm going to forget, and I got it written down. It's the only thing I got written down, because I was in a zone.
Yeah.
Had my blinders on.
And that's not good, because I depended on Jason today.
I had my blinders on. I was not prepared. And that is, I will be a guest on the Garden Party podcast tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time.
So that means I get to hear you laughing downstairs.
That's right. It is hosted by the Texas Garden Guy and Fields Figs. Now, Tracy from Just Dig It Farm is usually on there with me, but she's got a little something going on tomorrow and is not going to be able to make it. So it's just going to be me.
I feel like these situations where you don't feel comfortable doing something.
Yeah.
And so I go with you.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
first few times.
yeah.
I feel like Tracy's going with you these first few times, and now you're comfortable, so you're just gonna do it by yourself.
Oh, that's
Just
funny.
jump right in feet first.
That's funny. Oh my gracious.
Nobody needs to hold your hand anymore. You got
I can't lean on Tracy
you
tomorrow.
comfortable.
I can't lean on Tracy tomorrow.
Well, I'm sure you'll do well without Tracy. Or
Oh,
when
man.
Tracy decides to join again, it'll be just as good.
That's right. That's right. And I'm always excited to talk to people about gardening, especially my buddies Destin and Phil.
Yes.
I love talking gardening. I really do. I got now where I message Jamie from time to time. She's got garden questions, and I know I probably go off on a long text with her. She's probably going, okay, that's
Well,
but I don't think so. I think Jamie's really gotten into gardening.
she has, and it's a good thing she hadn't texted me about it, because I'd have to hold your hand and we'd have to walk her through it as secondhand information. Nah, she knows I don't know anything.
Oh,
But I'm glad.
goodness.
I'm glad you're able to help her.
Well, I know how it is because
You were there.
well, I was there, and when you don't have anybody to talk to gardening about, you just
That's right.
you got nobody. The dogs. I mean,
Lester's
Lester's not a gardener. He's not going to listen. He don't
Let
want
me
to
tell
listen
you
to it.
something.
Yeah.
You talking about the dogs being gardeners?
Yeah.
This one's sitting right beside me, who
Yeah.
happens to be Dee Dee. She has been training for gardening. All this time when she goes and gathers these eggs and she digs these holes.
Oh, is that what
she's
she's doing?
Training.
She's planting egg seeds.
I haven't seen her with the egg in quite some time.
I hadn't either.
Well, she's good now. She's ready for the job.
I hadn't either.
She's ready for you to put her on board and start paying her.
So it's been a minute.
I guess we pay her in dog food, don't we?
I guess we do.
And vet visits. She has to go for her checkup next Friday. So, Dee Dee, you earn your keep, baby. Her ears perked up. Did you see her?
I saw her ears perked up.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, me.
I had something on my mind and it went away. It went away. If you don't say it right when you're thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
So I told you yesterday, I think it was, that one of the Peacocks was missing.
You did.
I said, Jason, I don't know what happened, but there's only 3 Peacocks.
Mm-hmm.
I told you a story.
There's 4.
There's 4. I don't know where number 3 was when I saw Mama.
There's no telling.
But y'all, I kind of hung my head because I felt like they had made it past that point where they were so vulnerable. But I had been seeing a hawk from time to time just go from tree to tree, and I said to myself, I said, I thought they were too big. I thought they could get away, and something got that one, but it did not. There are still 4.
Good.
And Mr. James Bird is still with them.
Scott Jr.
Yes.
I posted a picture of Scott Jr. last night.
He's getting pretty.
And I called him Scott Jr. I should have put Scott Jr., a.k.a. James Bird, because I almost put James Bird, and I didn't know who would all get it and who wouldn't get it. And so I called him Scott Jr. Everybody would know what Scott Jr. means, but I wish I'd have put a.k.a. James Bird. It was a pretty picture, too. Did you see it?
I did.
It's a pretty one.
Just for a glimpse, I saw it.
Pretty picture.
We need to figure out a way to identify these 2 birds, because it's not going to be, I mean, he's probably got 3 years before we can't tell the difference, but Scott's losing his tail feathers.
Yeah, he's shedding.
And it's just the time of the year. They're everywhere. I mean, I don't care where you go, you'll think, I didn't know Scott came over here. Well, there's a feather. Yes, he comes over here. And when that happens, when he loses his feathers, you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard. So we got to come up.
I bet I can.
Well, the only way that I can say that you'll tell the difference is because he's going to be walking with his mama.
Yeah.
With those 4 babies, and Scott's going to be over here. But James Bird, he comes back here at night, and he roosts on the top of the green coop or either the aviary.
That's where I caught him.
Yep.
In the picture.
They come back here, and I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
Mama, Miss Lewis and her 4 babies, James Bird, all come back here to roost at night. Otherwise, there probably wouldn't be any of them.
Mm-mm.
You know, we don't have I shouldn't say that, potential predator problem because our dogs do a good job.
They do.
But if they're not roosting right here, then there's no way the dogs could protect them. But they are, so
Thank goodness.
forget about that.
Thank goodness.
You didn't see this, but the other day I had some goat milk that had been in the refrigerator just a little bit, past its prime, and
Right.
we talked about goat milk on my video where I made cheese, and if you wait just a little bit too long, then it's not spoiled, but it starts tasting goaty.
It's the only way we can say it. I don't
I
know what
don't know
else to
how to
tell
explain
you.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
when it starts to smell like a goat, and you can, smell an odor because it's odorless otherwise, to me.
And I wonder if we say it because it comes from a goat. I
That
wonder
it
if all
smells
like
goaty?
fresh milk does that.
You reckon a cow
I don't know.
smells like
Maybe.
a cow?
Or just has that gamey smell.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
a goat smell. So anyway, I got it out of my barn refrigerator and I took it to Loretta.
Yeah.
And she has that bowl that's looks like she can't spill the milk. Poured it in there. Y'all, that girl picked up that bowl with the milk in it, and milk was running everywhere. And she didn't get to drink any of it because she was parading around with it. And I thought to myself, Loretta, you got to enjoy what's in it before you parade around. I mean, y'all, it never occurred to me that she'd pick the bowl up and spill all the milk before she got it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. But she got to lick the pan when she got finished, so I guess she had a little bit of something good happen.
I bet her face is soft.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Because either one or two things. Either she's going to pick it up and it spills on her, or she's going all in and it's all over. One of the two.
I have to tell y'all.
She probably smells goaty.
She probably does. She probably does, but it's legit. I mean,
oh, man.
So I was, let's see, I guess I would have been 13 years old. Changed schools, so made new friends. One particular girl I'd known from the summer because I'd played softball with her. And that was one reason I changed schools, because the school that I changed to had a more developed softball program than the school that I was prior at. Played softball with this girl over the summer, got to know her. Then we started going to school together, and she asked me to spend the night with her. And I wasn't a child that liked to be away from home. I mean, I can count on two hands the number of times that I spent the night away from home. But this was different because it was her birthday. So I spent the night with her, spent the night with Jessica. And the next morning we got up and her mama was fixing breakfast. And Jessica asked me if I wanted to go with her to the barn to get milk. And I was a city girl. I didn't know what she meant, but I just said, okay. So Jessica and I went to the barn to get milk, all right, because we went to get milk from the cow.
Milked
the cow for fresh milk. And y'all, I can remember thinking to myself, there's no way I can drink this. And of course I knew it came from a cow. I knew it came from a cow. But in my mind, it was different. This was going to be nasty. And I didn't know how to be tactful about it. So we milked the cow and we carried the fresh milk back to the house and we drank it for breakfast.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Well, I made myself drink it. And I can remember just kind of, how you can just kind of like hold your breath when you're drinking something.
Yeah.
And it didn't stick in my head as to the way it tasted, but I really don't remember it. But to think back on that day when I went to her house, and I was terrified because I had to drink.
Oh, goodness.
I had to drink fresh milk from the cow.
Right.
I'd never heard of such before.
That's right.
I never knew anybody that had cows. And they lived out in the rural area, had cows, and we had fresh milk. So here I am, drinking fresh milk again.
Drinking fresh milk again.
How about that?
That you're milking.
Yes, yes.
Somebody want to know, could I show them the picture of Scott Jr.?
James Bird Johnson.
James Bird.
James Bird. Isn't he beautiful?
You know, and I'm trying. When I posted, I thought to myself, are his legs lined up evenly, or does he got one tucked up under there? You see that?
I don't know. That's quite the. Maybe you erased it and didn't realize it.
I didn't edit it.
You didn't?
No, it's straight from the camera.
Straight from the camera.
Yeah. Isn't he pretty? He's a pretty boy.
He's a pretty boy, but I'm gonna tell y'all something, and that is that he will never be as tame as Scott.
No.
And neither will the children, obviously, because they just follow right behind their mama, and they're told to run when Brooke comes near, and that's what they do. So, who was I talking to that told me about the?
Won't be as tame as Snow White, that's for sure.
Who was that? No, y'all. When I was at the barn earlier, I looked outside and Snow White was laying down. That reminded me of what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Laying down, and she had her eyes closed, and she was just taking a little rest. And that's the first time I've seen her so relaxed.
She's relaxed.
So I was videoing earlier today, and I had my camera on time lapse, and I didn't know if there was volume with time lapse or not. Okay, so no volume. So sorry about that, but she started hollering. And every time she does it, it catches me off guard because it's not very often.
Right.
But y'all, it was, I mean, it was loud. And then she would stop and she'd do it again. I don't know what triggered her.
Right.
Because I couldn't hear anything else. And she let her voice go.
Interesting.
She let her voice go.
Interesting.
I was thinking about the 4 Peacocks and what made Scott so much more tame. I know, in an enclosed area. He wasn't cooped up, but our old farm was such a small, contained area.
Very small, and plus, we kind of handled him probably a little bit when he was a chick.
Well, and he ate with the chickens, and so he would get scratched, and obviously he wanted the scratch, and he would come, come to us, and I think that had a lot to do with it.
Probably so. Yeah, he's pretty tame.
I mean, you could touch him till he realized it.
Yeah, when he's got his feathers up, you can really go over there, and I can do like that on his feathers. I've shown videos of me touching him like that, but now he don't want to be petted now. He's not that kind of tame. No. But he's pretty tame for a peacock, about as tame as they get.
He oh goodness. Oh, I still can't tell out of those 4 babies,
male or female.
Male or female yet. But it shouldn't be too much longer because they're getting on up there.
Yeah.
Right now they're all legs and a little body, but they're gonna grow into that body before too long, and hopefully be able to tell what's what. And I don't know what we're gonna do with them. Gosh, who was it that told me about in Texas? They it was the vet. So when I took Snow White to the veterinarian clinic, the vet there used to live in Texas. And she said that she remembered being a Girl Scout and having never heard a peacock before because she lived in the city. So she was a Girl Scout, and they went camping, and she heard the peacock for the first time. And she said, it just about scared her to death. But what she found out was that it was peacocks that had hatched babies and continuously hatched babies. And then they formed their own colony, basically they were wild. And I feel like that's what's going to happen around here.
Could be.
Not just Clanton, but areas. Everybody wants a peacock now on their farm because they're beautiful. So, I want to keep them locked up. So we always said 6 weeks to keep them locked up. And that's been the case for us in the past. But when we moved to this farm, which was totally different for Scott and Ozella, we left them locked up for at
least 2 months.
Probably 12 weeks, if I had to guess.
It was a long time because we were worried.
We were so scared they were going to try to go back.
Yeah.
And they did not. But
Knock on wood.
there are so many posts about people that have peacocks and they have gone, they let them out and they go. And I don't know if you call that stupidity on their part or just not the people, the birds.
Right.
Because why would you want to leave where you've been fed and watered?
I don't know. It is crazy. It's got to be just a homing thing.
An instinct.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of like those in Texas that formed that colony. Because probably they weren't all born there. They probably just all congregated together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you know is you got this one having babies and this one, and you got a big peacock colony.
Right. The funny thing that I've always heard, and that is hunters, and they go in early in the morning, it's pitch black dark, and they're climbing up in their tree stand or they're walking to their tree stand, and they've never heard a peacock before. Or they have, but regardless if you heard one or not, if it's pitch black dark and you're walking and you're probably already just a little
on edge.
Yeah, a little on edge anyways. And that male peacock lets out that scream. Oh yeah, it would scare you pretty good. Really, really good.
I can imagine. And that's the way the doctor was in Texas. She had never heard it. She's a Girl Scout. She's camping in the woods for the first time. And then she hears a noise she never has heard before.
Yeah, especially if you've never heard that male peacock scream.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, yeah, it would get you.
And they all have a different tone. Snow White's, of course, different than a male. But Snow White's call is totally different than Miss Lewis's call or Ozella's was. You can just tell the difference.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just like us talking.
It is.
Different frequency and different sound.
Mm-hmm. Roosters are the same way.
Yes.
Yeah, all roosters sound different.
We used to have one that we were certain he said,
"Get a haircut."
Get your haircut.
That's what it sounded like.
Every time he crowed, we would come behind him and say, "Get your haircut."
Oh goodness.
Get your haircut.
That was Little Red Pile.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
I love that little rooster. He was such a special one. Get your haircut.
Get your haircut.
I don't know who. I probably came up with that, saying that's what it sounded like, but it was funny.
Get your haircut. They keep up saying that Tony and Catherine, they're having a snake issue right now.
Well, she had a snake yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And did I not tell you?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell the story or not. So
they're saying, did Tony get the snake? Did Catherine get the snake? Catherine may need you to help her with the snake.
I think she got the snake.
Well, you may be.
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to say more than what I'm supposed to. I'm pretty sure she got the snake, unless she's got a different snake.
She may have another one.
So I'm cutting grass here a couple of days ago, and y'all, I probably shouldn't say this either, but I haven't seen but one snake all year. One snake.
Mm-hmm.
And it was non-venomous. But I saw a snake, and I have a feeling he was venomous. Crawling under Jason's fig trees.
You better stay away from my figs.
All I could think about was you over there picking up the muscadine, leaves, because we don't have them trellised yet, and me seeing about that much of a brown tail that I think may have been a copperhead, but I can't confirm that.
Can't confirm that. The muscadines will be ready to pick here soon.
Well, better get your sniffer ready is all I can say. And I thought when I was cutting grass, I said, well, I didn't smell him.
Oh,
I didn't smell him.
They didn't want a copperhead.
Well,
you can only smell them copperhead.
The grass was interfering with my smell.
Maybe that's what
the problem.
Maybe it had you blocked.
It had me blocked.
Had your snake sensors blocked.
That's right. I saw somebody was getting all over people about saying snakes were poisonous. And they said, there's no poisonous snake. There's no poisonous snake.
Oh, they're venomous?
They're venomous. And I did it right when I said it. That's kind of like there is no, there is no cow. It's either a steer or a bull or a heifer or,
It don't matter.
It don't matter. but I didn't say poisonous snake.
It is a little crazy to me what really
Ticks people off.
it trips their trigger when it comes to words. It really does when it's poisonous and venomous and
I think
I
they
don't know.
probably just need to drink some coffee and just settle down a little bit.
If you're enjoying it, it don't matter.
It doesn't
If it's
matter.
fun, enjoyable, you like watching, making people smile and laugh and giggle and
If you don't watch it and don't enjoy it, don't tell them about it. Just turn it off. Right?
change the channel.
Change the channel. You chose to watch it.
Change the channel.
I saw Miss Brenda Gant.
Who you told me
Y'all-
about this? I just can't see her commenting to a negative comment, but that one must have got under
I
Miss
showed
Brenda's.
you the actual response.
Miss Brenda, I
And
wouldn't want to make Miss Brenda mad.
well,
Somebody did.
but there have been times when
Look.
what?
Catherine says, "Sorry, I'm late. I just had to wrangle a 4.5-foot timber rattler."
What?
That's poisonous. Snake.
Okay, so I don't know anything about the snake situation. The snake yesterday was non-venomous. I'll say that.
Okay.
What did that person do to Brenda? Oh, they said
She
she needed to get all of her ingredients
Her
together.
videos are too slow or something like that. She takes way too long.
She needed to have all her measuring cups and spoons and ingredients out instead of walking around looking for stuff. And Brenda let her have it.
Yeah, Miss Brenda let her have it all right.
But
Ooh.
there are times when somebody says something ugly to me, and my gut tells me to let them have it.
Yep.
Let them have it. And my husband tells me to leave it alone. And I do. I leave it alone.
Yep.
But I understand totally where Miss Brenda was coming from, because there comes a time where you've just had enough.
Yeah, I can't. Like I said, Miss Brenda seemed like the sweetest lady in the world, and I've never seen her reply to a negative comment whatsoever. But she did on that one.
And she got a lot of love from it.
And
too.
she did get a lot of love for it too.
And that's what happens to me. If somebody is being ugly to either Jason or myself, you guys most of the time handle it for us.
Yeah. I usually take care of the bad comments, ugly ones.
Yes. Jason will either remove it so no harm can be done.
So nobody's blood pressure goes up.
That's right.
Yeah.
But this is the hardest job I've ever had.
What?
Doing social media.
Oh, because we put everything out there?
You just, you put everything out there and you get a certain 99% that just love you and tell you all good things. But that 1% is what you see. That one bad percent is what gets your blood pressure up, and it makes you want to just
put them blinders on.
Quit everything.
Put them blinders on like this.
It's hard, y'all, because like I said, you as a human wants to see that 1%. But the best thing to do is to flush it down the toilet and forget about it.
Yep.
And I'm thankful that I have this one on my side, because if Catherine and I had anything to do with the negative people, we'd sick those timber rattlers on them. I'm here to tell you, and they'd be poisonous too.
Oh goodness!
Right, Catherine?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh goodness!
She don't play. She don't play. she handle it for me.
Oh goodness! Speaking of Catherine, I got to get over there, and I was going to do it today, and Mr. Tony's got me a surprise.
He does, y'all.
Got me a surprise, and I need to get over there, but we're going to do it today, and we couldn't do it today because today is filming, editing, and live stream, all that in one day.
And then we have to eat dinner.
Then we got to eat dinner. That's right. And then tomorrow, I was like, well, I can do it tomorrow, but Tony has to work all day tomorrow. We get off. By the time you get off is when my garden podcast is going to start. And I was like, that's not going to work. So we're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. Tony has
got me a surprise.
Got Jason a nice gift. Nice.
That's probably in the Wordsmith dictionary.
Somebody told me that you were the wordsmith.
Yeah.
I'm the herdsmith, and Mary Carl's the birdsmith.
Oh
So we got
goodness.
all the Smiths covered.
Got them covered.
Got them covered.
Oh my gracious.
Yep. It
Oh.
is what it is. Heather's got me worried about that timber rattler now.
He does.
What'd she say anyway?
I'm glad we didn't go over there because we would have had to help him with that rattlesnake. Listen,
I ordered a snake catching pole, but I just don't think I could use it on a rattlesnake.
I couldn't know.
I don't think I could use it on a rattlesnake.
Catherine probably caught it with her bare hands.
She probably did.
Out there with no shoes on, out there, no telling.
Yep. She probably said, well, I don't want to use anybody's name because I might get in trouble for that. But she probably said, take this, Jason, and picked him up by his head, Don't ever come back here. I've never seen another Jason on here, so they can't get mad at me.
No, I did that, which was a common name back in the day.
It was. But, whoa. Oh, I thought that said Jason. Yeah,
she was scared, she said.
She was scared?
She was scared.
She
had to catch it by the neck.
It's one of those things where I don't want to scare Catherine, but once you start seeing them, then they're there more often. Seems.
It seems that way.
I think I saw 2 rattlesnakes last year.
Oh man!
One of them was. They were both way away from here. Our animals have to do a big part in keeping.
Because we didn't have, we hardly ever saw snakes on the other farm.
No.
And we don't see many snakes on this farm.
When we were at the other farm, the only place we ever saw a snake, if it wasn't in the chicken coop, was down in the creek.
Yeah, that's it.
And, you already got your eyes peeled open down there. At least we did, because we knew that snakes liked water. And they weren't always water moccasins. They were, more or less rat snakes and chicken snakes. We saw a couple of water moccasins, but not a whole lot.
Right.
But everything's got to have water, so you have to imagine they're there. I miss that creek.
You told me that not too long ago. You missed the creek.
I miss the creek.
We got a creek here. We just got to get a path to it.
Well, I don't just want a path. I want to be able.
The path's way over there.
Yeah.
I want to make some walking paths through there.
I still don't trust that timber rattler isn't coming through. I mean, at the old farm, we could see everything.
Oh, goodness.
And I can tell you, Mary Carl ain't going to let us cut down any trees.
The
underbrush is okay.
Just a pathway where I can, we could drive or walk.
I think if we could get somehow, I thought about this the other day, and I thought I had it saved in my notes as to who Catherine contacts about burning.
I would love to get it controlled burn for sure.
Mr. Bearden that lives in Plantersville, he does that.
Okay.
So we may could contact him and
contact him. And we could get Catherine's contact.
Well, too. Catherine's contact is
and now Nick and Zoe had it done, and it was like the state or somebody did it.
Well, see, you hire who you want to.
Okay.
And they reimburse you.
Okay.
And
okay.
So that's why I need to get the contact as to how to fill out the paperwork, and because Alabama doesn't want, privet.
They don't want privet, and they want the fire breaks.
Yeah. They don't want all this undergrowth and kudzu and
we
stuff.
Want the native stuff. We don't want this stuff that come from China and Japan, and we want the Alabama forest.
And I think that's why the state reimburses you for having it burned.
I got you.
You hire it out.
I got you.
Contact you. I mean, we could do it ourselves and get paid back, but I be dang, I am not doing it myself.
That scares me.
It scares me
too. I have zero knowledge and experience at controlled burning. Zero.
Well, the times that we've burned piles of brush, I don't leave.
Right.
Because I'm too scared.
Right.
I take the tractor and I make dirt all the way around it, and I'm scared of it.
Catherine said that basically the state did theirs and paid them back for doing it.
Okay.
I know it brings back all the native grasses.
Well,
I've seen that with my eyes on that birding tour, where they're trying to bring those prairies back.
What happens to me?
Controlled burning. That's how they're doing it.
Is I'll ask her about that when we get off this live, and I'll take the information down. But tomorrow it's left me. Tomorrow, I won't remember it, and I won't do it
Catherine, send her a text tomorrow.
tomorrow. But I can't be doing anything when I
Right.
text.
Right.
I gotta be ready to go to the computer and do what I gotta do.
I know that Daniel does it and Lester does it.
Well, they're different states, so every
There are different
state's
states. And too, they're doing mostly pastures
different. Yeah, we don't
that
want
I've
to burn
seen.
a pasture.
This is overgrown wooded area, so I don't know how.
This is underneath trees.
I don't want a big oak tree to. I don't know how they do it. I don't understand how it works. So we'll figure it out.
We are
Plus,
going
they're
to figure it out.
10+ hours away from us.
That's right.
That's a good little haul.
Uh-huh.
Somebody asked what was Brenda's channel called because they would love to go check her out. It is Cooking with Brenda Gant, isn't it?
I don't know. I was fixing to look. I don't know if it's just Cooking with Brenda or Cooking with Brenda Gant. Cooking with cheese curd. How about that? Cooking with Brenda.
Cooking with Brenda Gant.
Okay.
And it's GANTT.
Cooking with Brenda Gant.
Yep.
She's
the sweetest lady. Oh my gracious.
And she's in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So she cooks things that we like to eat.
That's right. Southern cooking.
Southern cooking. And she just, I wish I could get to the point, she's been doing it a long time.
Right.
But I wish I could get to the point where I didn't have to have all my ingredients together. I wish I could go say, hey, y'all, I forgot my baking powder and I'll be right back, and walk off and come back. But it takes me so long to get prepared to cook something because I got to have it all out.
Right.
I don't want y'all to sit there and wait on me. But she does it in an entertaining way.
She does. She really does. I saw somebody said that Daniel knows how to control burn. Lester just catches stuff on fire.
You know what we need to do, Jason?
Oh, what?
It's not about burning.
Okay.
Brenda has an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Where she cooks breakfast.
Seriously?
Or cooks something.
As big and as popular as she is?
Yes. We should go stay there and ask her if we could film it.
I had no idea Miss Brenda had.
Of course, we've been paying guests just like anybody else. We don't expect to go and get something for free, but I think it would be fun.
We have to check into that.
I know she's got it because my mama watches her.
The cattle house. Is that what they call it?
I don't know. All I know is what mama tells me.
The cattle house. The cattle house. Everybody stay in the cattle house.
I think that's pretty cool.
Wow. I couldn't see how she'd have the time.
Mama came over the other day and she said, Brooke, I want to borrow that buttermilk from you. And I said, why? What are you making? And she said, I'm going to make Brenda Gant's biscuits. I think I can do it. And I said, Mama, I said, don't make the biscuits because she is completely dairy-free diet.
Yeah.
And she said, why not? I said, because first of all, I'm not eating a bunch of biscuits at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You can't eat them, meaning her. And I don't see Jason and Mary Carl eating a pan of biscuits tonight.
Yeah.
And she said, you're right. And she put the buttermilk back up and didn't make the biscuits.
And I made a mistake. It's coddle, not cattle. It looked like a little A.
Oh, you better get it straight.
Coddle house.
Coddle house. Yes, I've heard Mama say that before.
Coddle house.
Yep.
That blows my mind.
That somebody is big. I mean,
yes.
Paula Dean came to my mind. Of course, they're not, similar, but Paula was a Southern cook and she was in Savannah, Georgia. But I can't see Paula Dean opening up an Airbnb and her cooking for somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
I think it would be fun and interesting. And I told y'all, some of y'all may not have ever heard this story, but I was in TJ Maxx in Alabaster. No, I wasn't. I was in Prattville. And somebody said, did you already get your video done for today? And I just about started talking because I thought they were talking to me. And this lady at the register turned around that was checking out, and I recognized her. It was Brenda. And she said, yeah, she said, I already did, or I didn't record today or something. And, she goes shopping just like we do. And people were respectful, and I know she appreciates that.
Yeah, I know she does. I just still blows my mind that she does that.
We'll have to see about it and check into it.
I have to see about that. Andalusia, Alabama.
Yep, that's where Mama's friend Celia lives.
Okay.
Um,
What was that about? 2 hours, 3 hours?
yes, it's
2 or 3
it's
hours.
a good bit south.
Yep. The Cottle House Bed and Breakfast.
Well,
Interesting.
we could take Scott with us, and Scott and Brenda could have a biscuit showdown. We could film it. It's getting better, isn't it? Scott didn't know anything about this. We're just inviting him.
Oh goodness.
A biscuit showdown.
Oh my gracious.
Scott and Brenda.
Oh man.
Well, I was about to say not Scott the Peacock, but it is Scott Peacock.
It is Scott Peacock, just not the bird.
Not the bird. Goodness. I like to conjure up stuff, don't I? Without even the parties even being aware about it.
The Cottle House.
Did you find it?
No,
Oh.
I was going to show you this showed up on my memory today.
Jason loves him some Facebook memories.
I love that's my favorite thing on Facebook is the memories. That's it. I love it. And this showed up today. And isn't that just the cutest thing ever?
Oh, it's the cutest thing.
Y'all look at this. So this is MC and Tucker, or Mini Horse. And this was pre-YouTube.
Yeah.
We didn't have a YouTube channel back then. And
Okay.
Oh my gracious.
Tucker was gelded. And he was the sweetest little pony, y'all. His hair didn't flow right. One side of his mane.
You can see it. One side of his mane went one way. Yeah. And then the other side went the other way.
But you see it's brushed out perfectly. I mean, there's not a tangle in that hair.
And you could try to get that mane to fold over. It would not. It'd flop back over.
We tried everything to get his mane to flip back over. And finally we just said, we're going to accept you as you are, Mr. Tucker.
And, oh my gracious. But seeing him, and I've talked about us owning horses in the past. And owning a horse is a commitment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I found one that seemed perfect for us just a couple of weeks ago.
But it has got me a little itch of looking at possibly a horse. But then I think to myself, it is a commitment.
It is a commitment. And it's definitely a commitment that I'm not set up for where I am right now.
Yeah.
I just know I couldn't do it right now. But anyway, this post came across, and it was a girl who had hit hard times, and she needed to let some of her animals go. So she was parting with some of her goats and her horse, and her horse's name was Big John.
Big John.
And Big John was 16.6 hands high. That's a big John.
He was 16. What'd you say? 0.6?
16.6.
Yeah, he was the big boy.
I think we figured out that I can't remember. Anyway, he was taller than we were.
Yeah.
He was way taller than we were. But he was a gentle giant. And the only thing that worried us was he had a limp on his front. Of course, he wasn't free. He wasn't a rescue or anything like that.
Right.
And then he had a problem with his right leg. And she didn't know if it was because he didn't have shoes on or if he just maybe had some arthritis going on. He was only 10 years old, though.
Which is not that old.
No. So I can't imagine, it not being, you know what I mean.
Right. I saw where somebody said, aren't all of our animals a commitment? They are. And I didn't mean to mislead that. But horses, their hoofs, they got to be trimmed most of the time, 4 to 6 weeks. They got to have a special diet. They can get, oh gosh, I mean.
It's a lot more,
It's a lot.
It's a lot more involved than any of our animals.
Our other animals. And that's what I meant by commitment. Horses they're a job. They really are a job.
I thought I was going to show y'all where
Big John.
No, not Big John. I probably do have a picture of Big John, but I saw something yesterday that I thought was legit.
Oh, is this scam?
yeah, it came across.
And I don't even know if I would even ride the horse. I mean, I love riding horses. I did, and I've been around horses my entire life, and I know how dangerous they can be, and all that. So I don't even know if I'd even ride. I really don't. I don't. It would just be a pasture ornament, just a
Well, if it
pet.
needed to be rode, Catherine could come over and ride it for you.
Yeah, that's
She
true. I
could
mean, I
come.
love riding horses. I mean, I love riding horses, and I would probably fall in that rabbit hole. Next thing you know, I'm going by myself on these rides because you and me and Carl don't want to go because y'all not going to be interested in it. And
Yeah, horses are expensive, and that's one reason that we had to rehome ours. Me and Carl lost interest,
Yep.
and we had a friend that had a nice barn, a nice place to keep the horses. She had no problem with paying for feed
That's
and
right.
making sure they had good hay, and we had to rehome them to her.
Mm-hmm.
Just so because times were hard.
Well, times are hard, and I wasn't riding because we didn't have time. Stuff was coming up, and so I couldn't ride as much as I used to. And when I was doing the math, it was like costing something crazy. Like if you go on one ride and in one ride in 3 months, that one ride cost you $1,000.
That's right.
And like, golly, I could rent a horse that go on a ride for that much money, So yeah, it was horses are expensive.
They are very expensive.
They are.
I just.
But I do love them. I
I
do love
do.
them. And I want to tell y'all a true statement. I'm going and I know there's exceptions, always is, but I'm going to tell you a true statement. I know who says it all the time, and it's Greg Key over there at Hoss Tools. That's I thank him every time, but that is, there's no such thing as the ugly horse.
Greg says there's no such thing as an ugly horse.
Mm-hmm.
He rides.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
It's just an old saying, or something like that.
We're
There's
gonna
no
get a
ugly
lot of
horses.
pictures of ugly horses.
We probably will, but for the most part, I mean, have y'all ever seen I mean, every time you see a horse, is it not beautiful?
Yeah.
Every time. There could be a pasture full of 10 horses out there, and you'll ask me which one of those you like. I'm like, that's hard to choose.
But we saw 6 just yesterday, and I chose the one that I liked the best, and you chose the one you liked the best.
But any of them are beautiful.
Oh, they were all beautiful. They were all beautiful.
Any of them are beautiful.
Jason said when I was talking about Big John, where would we put him? And I said, in the pasture with Moody and Mildred.
He would go over there, wouldn't he?
That's a big pasture, and it's a lot of grass, and probably could have 10 Big Johns out there.
Yeah.
But
no such thing as a cheap horse, too, somebody said.
That's the truth. I wish I could. I know I still got a picture of Big John, but I'm sure Big John's gone.
Oh, man.
Oh, there's Big John.
Oh, there he is.
There's Big John.
Y'all, he's gorgeous.
He is in muscular. No, I didn't lose Big John.
He was a big boy.
Yeah, look at Big John.
Absolutely beautiful. I bet Big John could put down some feed.
And didn't it say he had pulled a cart? I know it did.
I'm sure. He's a big boy.
He had previously pulled a cart.
He is a big boy.
And I started thinking he could hook up to our cart out there and ride us around. We probably better put some air in the tires first, though.
Thick. He's thick. He's a thick boy.
I typed in horse on my search, and it's all goat and Big John.
Big John. He's a big boy. He's beautiful. He was absolutely beautiful.
I could think of, there's Mary Carl. Y'all, here's Mary Carl. This was Zelda. This was in 2022. This was one of our.
That wasn't 2022. That was 2 years ago.
I probably must have screenshotted this in 2022. Was that Sprinkles or Zelda?
That's Zelda.
Okay, this was one of the horses that we had. Zelda was a big girl.
She was a Tennessee walking horse.
And she was a good ride, too.
She was a great, man. I love gated horses.
I wish I had a picture of Sprinkles.
I love gated horses.
Is that Zelda?
That's Zelda. You looking for Sprinkles?
Uh-huh. I don't have any of Sprinkles.
You know Sprinkles? If I got any, let's see. I may have Sprinkles. Sprinkles was an Arabian.
Sprinkles was my horse. I fell in love with her. What did we go to get?
We just went to look.
It didn't happen.
We went to look and we didn't. And Sprinkles wasn't even on the
radar.
Wasn't even on the radar.
She wasn't for sale.
Yeah, she wasn't for sale either.
The lady that was riding her said she could ride her up and down the roads. Cars didn't bother her. She hit street signs. Nothing spooked her. Oh, she was so beautiful. She was a spotted Appaloosa.
She was an Arabian.
Arabian.
That's me and Mary Carl on Zelda.
Mary Carl had a little buddy seat that went on the back of the saddle. Of course, we made her wear a helmet.
Yep, Mary Carl rode a lot.
She did.
She rode a lot with me.
You can't find Sprinkles?
I don't have any Sprinkles.
Oh, man.
We had several of those Sprinkles, and then I had
Spirit,
who was my first gaited horse, and we had what was the
little girl, the little pony?
No, the one in between Tucker and it was a medium size Prince. Then we got the Pacifino.
Oh, yes.
I saw a picture. She come from my memories the other day.
What did I name her? Calypso.
She was beautiful.
Calypso.
She was beautiful. I loved the Arabian. I loved Sprinkles. It was funny because Sprinkles ended up being my horse. I ended up riding Sprinkles a lot.
She would go too.
Oh my gracious, y'all. That girl could flat out fly. And I loved to turn her loose. Man, she could go. And I had a lot of fun with her. But it was so funny that, I'd go to a ride and you got Big John and Prince and Sheriff and John Wayne and all these manly names. And here I am riding Sprinkles.
Was that her name when we got her?
She had some little little sprinkles, like some little black dots on her.
Spotted.
She was solid white, but she had some little black dots on her. And that's why they named her Sprinkles. And of course, we didn't change it.
And she wanted to be the lead horse, didn't she?
She didn't care about that.
It was Zelda that wanted to be the lead.
Zelda wanted to be the lead horse. She did not like being in the back. Now, what Sprinkles' issue is that she did not like to be haltered. She did not like to be on a rope. If you tied her up for anything, you had to be super cautious because she did not like it. She did not like getting in a horse trailer. She was not an easy loader whatsoever. You
could have rode her to where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
Easier than you could have towed her to where you wanted to go. Yeah,
Sprinkles she was a good riding horse. She wasn't gated though, but she was fun to ride because I would turn her. She wanted to go. Most Arabians are like that though. But I remember going up a hill. She was like, "Can we go up this hill?" It's like, "You want to go up this hill?" She's like, "I want to go."
Well, Sprinkles wanted to go.
She went too. Man, I felt like I was in a movie. Boy, she was hauling up that hill.
I bet she beat everybody else.
Passed everybody. Heck yeah. Like it was the Kentucky Derby. I was like a jockey.
And she was a good size too. She was a medium size. She wasn't too little, wasn't too big. She was just perfect.
Our friends still got Sprinkles.
We got asked not too long ago if we wanted Sprinkles back.
Last year, do we want Sprinkles back?
But I did the math and I came up with her being about 24.
Sprinkles is probably on up there.
And I wouldn't want to ride her.
I definitely wouldn't probably ride her.
It would just be a pasture ornament.
She would be a pasture ornament. In that age, she's 24.
A lot could go wrong.
Yeah, she could. A lot could go wrong.
Well, where she is now, she has a vet living with her.
That's right. So she's got a great home.
She doesn't need to go anywhere. She needs to stay right where she is. I had both of my toes on opposite feet broke by two different of our horses.
You did?
Two different horses of ours broke. The toe next to my little toe on both feet looks like this. Because they've both been broke.
I forgot. I shouldn't laugh at that.
It's okay. It's okay. But I did have to go to Disney World with the broke toe.
Yeah.
And that was probably 3 weeks after I broke it. It was still, oh my gosh, there was nothing they could do for it. So I had to tape those two together. Mm-hmm. But I had a hard time at Disney World with a broke toe.
Oh, me.
My foot got awfully sore.
Awfully sore. I do miss riding them, though. I do miss riding them.
We asked Mary Carl the other day if she would ride, and she said, I don't know.
Probably not.
She said, I think they're beautiful, but it wasn't really anything that was top on her agenda.
I miss riding because I started doing so many trail rides, and we would ride for 6, 8 hours. I mean, it was all day, and that so Sprinkles was not a gaited horse. It was like riding a quarter horse all day. It's this all day long.
Mm-hmm.
When I got home, you were just so sore, so sore. And then when somebody talked me into riding a gaited horse, which
That was Spirit.
Spirit was the first one I rode. I thought, holy,
it was like being in a Cadillac.
Oh, it's crazy.
Out of the beep beep into the Cadillac.
It is crazy. So you don't know if the gait of the horse causes the ride, and a Tennessee walking horse. You ever seen one walk? It's just beautiful, and the Pacifica.
Is that what she was?
Spirit was a mix. She was. I think she had some Pacifica in her too, because she was a small horse. But their gait, where they move their legs and feet, it's a smooth. I mean, you could put a there's contest out there, especially with the Pacifica horse, where they put that glass of wine on there, and they walk around that thing without spilling the wine.
Well, the Pacifica that we had, she was young,
so smooth,
but she was smooth.
She was smooth. And Zelda was smooth too. It's so nice going on trail rides when you're riding a gaited horse versus one that's not gaited, especially if you're going to be on there all day long, and especially if you don't ride every single. If you're like a real cowboy or a rancher, and you're riding that quarter horse every single day, I'm sure that your butt's got calluses on there. I'm sure that you got muscles built where you didn't know you had muscles, and you get used to it. But if you go on a trail ride every other week, or every once a month or whatever, that bouncing will beat you to death.
And we had several horses in our pasture area at the old farm,
mm-hmm.
and our chickens were free range, chickens, ducks, whatever else we had, peacocks.
Mm-hmm.
So they all went under the fence because we had a split rail fence. So they all went under the fence, walked into the pasture, went to the woods, whatever they wanted to do. Well, we got a new horse, and that was Spirit. And Spirit was a young horse, but she was trained to ride and to be
rider,
saddled and stuff like that. But what she wasn't trained is
she was very pasture possessive. She didn't like anything in that pasture but her and Tucker. And that was it. So if anything got in that pasture besides them, she tried to kill it. So we went from having all of our ducks and geese and chickens and whatever else being in that pasture to nothing. Yeah.
Nothing would step foot in there.
Nothing would step in there.
Because they knew that Spirit was going to run them out.
Mm-hmm.
And she meant it.
She did. And so she was mean to anything coming there.
Mean, but never mean to us.
Never mean to us.
Or another horse.
It was like having an aggressive donkey in there, really.
Yeah.
I mean, she was mean.
And it scared us because, we always thought, well, what if something got in there that wasn't supposed to be in there? A neighbor's dog, or, if that happened, of course, it would have killed our chickens anyway. But it kind of made us leery of Spirit a little bit.
Yep.
All right. So we're going from horses to dinner. What's for dinner? What's for supper?
Catherine said we can ride Nelly. I'll let you and Tony do that first.
Yeah.
I want to see a video of it too. I want to see a video of it.
And then after they do that, they can come over and give Moody a try.
A lot of people ride mules on trail rides like that, and I often wonder what kind of gait a mule has. I have no idea. I don't know if it's a smooth gait or if it's like a quarter horse gait. I don't know.
Maybe it depends on what kind of mule you're on.
I don't know, but they're very popular. I'm guessing that a mule gait is smooth, or people would want them for trail riding. Be my guess. I may be wrong. I may be totally wrong.
What'd she say?
She's got short steps like a Shetland pony.
Huh. Well.
What are we having for supper?
We are having a roast
Mm.
that I put in the crock pot this morning.
From Calfee Cattle Company.
Calfee cattle. We have some potatoes that I have already cut up, red potatoes with some rosemary out of your back
Ooh,
area.
good.
Marinating in some olive oil and salt and pepper. I'm going to roast those. And then some fresh corn.
Some fresh corn.
Some fresh corn. And that's going to do us.
Brenda's having BLTs. I saw somebody said that they ride mules on trail rides. Is it a smooth ride or is it a rough ride? That's what I want to know. Maybe they'll get back on a T-bone steak. If somebody said mules rock side to side.
Huh.
That wouldn't be that bad. You know, if it wasn't that bop, 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 where your hind end's hitting the bottom of that.
Julie didn't ever have a mule, did she?
I don't
that
think
she
so.
rode.
I think she looked at it. Mules don't spook easily. I bet they don't.
Does Nellie spook easily? I guess Siri's trying to tell me what time it is.
Yeah.
Well.
Mules are gated. Well, there we go.
Mules are gated.
They're gated. So they're probably a smooth ride.
So that's what we need. We need a mule.
Some walking horses are gated. That's what Miss Carrie said. Carrie Gibbs.
Really?
If anybody knows, she'd know.
Carrie knows her horses.
She says some are bred to be gated.
Carrie, do you still have Penny? Do you remember Penny?
I don't.
You don't remember?
Oh, yes. That was Elle's horse.
Does she still have Penny? I know she probably does. We're going to see if Carrie still has Penny, and then we are going to go have us some dinner.
Yes. Yay!
I knew she probably did. All right.
Oh, man.
The girls may not be as horse crazy as they once were, but she still got them a horse if they so choose to.
Zucchini and chicken parmesan, steak and cheese. All
right. You hungry?
I'm getting hungry now every time. Every time we get off this live and we ask what everybody's having for supper, then I'm hungry.
You start getting hungry.
Okay. Hungry.
Well, y'all, video coming out tomorrow. We will be back on here Saturday morning.
That's right.
That's the plan, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.
That's right. Miss Carrie says she's old now.
I know she is. Poor thing.
All right, y'all.
She's got a good owner, though.
She does got a good owner. Absolutely. Y'all have a wonderful supper and have a wonderful evening, and y'all be good.